Hello, and thank you for joining us on Nationwide on Africa's largest television network. I'm Henry John. Nigeria is joining economic leaders at the annual meeting of the World Bank and IMF in Bali to forge ties and build conversations geared towards improving the global economy. With the meetings set to take off, finance and economic correspondent Leah Babatunde in Bali brings an update on expectations.
The Republic of Indonesia is home to the largest island in the world. It has a population of about 231 million people. Now, Bali is the tourism headquarters of Indonesia, and it is playing host to 189 finance ministers from around the world and 189 central bank governors also from around the world. Now, they're coming with a combined delegation expected to reach about 34,000 people. The Indonesian Minister of Communication and Information Technology, Mr. Rudiantara, tells of the implications of this convergence on Bali to the local economy and the global economy as well.
Immediate impact is to the economic for the Bali people. So because you can imagine 34,000 people get here, they will spend money, at least for the hotels, for restaurants, for transportation, etc. This also will increase the GDP of the Bali region. To the study conducted by the Ministry of the National Planning, that will increase 0.64% of the local GDP. That will reach more than 6% into 2018.
These annual meetings of the World Bank and IMF is one of those being held outside Washington, D.C. And this is because the meeting moves out of D.C. every 3 years to a member participating nation.
Finance and banking sector in the world are putting their eyes on Indonesia, particularly on Bali. We'll have the Bali declarations. Hopefully, in this global economic situations, there's a lot of uncertainty, we hope that we'll come up with something really breakthrough, responding by this global uncertainty in the economics.
At the head of the Nigerian delegation is the Minister of Finance, Zainab Ahmed. She will be accompanied by her counterpart from the Budget and Planning Ministry, Udoma Udoma, who will be here to share experience also and sell the idea of the ERGP to the world. Nigeria is representing all English-speaking countries on Africa, and also on the delegation will be the Governor of the Central Bank, Godwin Emefiele, who will be heading the monetary team. From Nusa Dua, Bali, I'm Leah Babatunde.
Many thanks, Leah. And back to Nigeria, the $200 million yearly budget for the Ogoni cleanup is almost ready, and actual remediation begins by the end of this month. Minister of State Environment Ibrahim Jibril stated this during a visit by the British Deputy Commissioner to Nigeria, Laurie Bowles, to the Ministry of Environment. Mia Ogidi reports.
58 years after, Britain is still keeping check on our former colony, Nigeria, with a view of offering parental assistance and guidance in different sectors. With the pleasantries over, environmental issues took the center stage, and the increasing rate of plastic waste in the maritime sector, shredding of the forest space, leading discussions. Though global, the United Kingdom is concerned more on how Nigeria can address these issues as a Commonwealth member.
Towards climate adaptation in particular, but beyond climate, there are very many ways where we want to cooperate and support initiatives that are being driven by Nigeria.
This is the polluted Ogoni land in Rivers State. needing $1 billion to regain itself, fund that the federal government has approved to make available for the cleaning up since June 2016. With preliminary work concluded and 180 out of the 400 contractors successfully selected, October ending may witness the commencement of real work.
As I'm talking today, that account has been credited with a sum of about $177 million. The balance of 23 is expected to come from the refineries. Our target is to get boots on the ground before the end of October.
In all these areas of partnership, the working out of a framework was agreed and technical committee constituted to this effect. Mayor Ogidi, NT News.
In an effort to advance the partnership between Africa and India, as well as other African countries, a two-day regional conclave is to take place in Abuja. This collaboration between the Confederation of Indian Industries and Exim Bank is to bring together government and private investors from both Africa and India to leverage on opportunities. Organizers of the conclave say the choice of Abuja as host city is in view of President Muhammadu Buhari's chairmanship position in the ECOWAS and its headquarters based in Abuja.
Looking forward to a very productive engagement at the government-to-government level, at the businesses level, and also among a number of speakers.
We are inviting discerning members and industrialists who are looking towards the east to actually take a second look and look towards India.
To more focus on some specific area and then look at business and investment and collaboration opportunities.
The event, which is slated for 8th and 9th of October, is the first of its kind to be hosted in the West African region, with 200 delegates from over 15 African countries and 70 business representatives from India. And away from business, now talking politics, as the deadline for submission of fourth candidates for the 2019 election to INEC draws nearer. Political parties across the country have been conducting primaries to elect their standard bearers. Ismail Musa compiled the rescheduled convention of the APC across the states.
In Adamawa State, the direct gubernatorial primary election saw Governor Muhammad Umar Jibrila emerging victorious in 20 out of the 21 local government areas of the state, with a total of 193,656 votes. Meanwhile, in Imo State, the former Chief of Staff, Imo State Government House, Uche Nwosu, has been declared winner of the reconducted Imo State APC governorship primary election. The former acting governor, Taraba State, Sani Abubakar Danladi, has been announced as the winner of the Taraba State governorship primary, with 60,629 votes, defeating 9 other aspirants. In Ogun State, the incumbent governor, Senator Ibinkule Amosun, emerged winner in Ogun Central senatorial primary with a total of 56,101 votes. Meanwhile, protests have been trailing the delay in the release of the governorship and National Assembly primaries in Kwara State. Ismail Musa, NTA News.
And staying with party primaries, results of Ogun State APC National and State Assembly primaries have been declared. The chairman of the APC National Legislative Primaries Committee in Ogun State, Colonel Abubakar Ali Chiroma, retired, who declared it as free and fair, declared that the incumbent governor of the state, Senator Ibikunle Amosun, emerged winner in Ogun Central with a total score of 56,101 votes.
For Ogun East, the winner of the Senate is race for Ogun East is Lekon Mustafa with 52,370 votes. For Ogun West, the winner is Tolulope Odebi with 48,134 votes. For Ogun Central, we have Ibikunle Amosun with 56,101 votes as the winner.
And away from Ogun State now, a media support group, the APC Broom platform, is set to embark on a media tour across the country to showcase the activities of President Buhari-led government. National chairman of the Broom platform, Tom Ohikere, at a media briefing in Abuja to herald their activities, says the initiative is to provide opportunity to present pictorial facts about infrastructural developments for the benefits of Nigerians. Salihu Abdullahi reports.
With the successful conclusion of party primaries and presentation of candidates into various elective offices, political parties have shown readiness for the 2019 general elections. As part of its pre-election strategy, the APC support group, the Broom platform, believed in acknowledging and showcasing the activities of APC within the last 3 years it came to power and making information readily available about same activities to the people. The group's scope of coverage will include areas of housing, health, power, transportation, agriculture, and education.
While we applaud the substantial development of the present government, we have serious concern about the public misinformation by our detractors, especially the opposition political parties, on the numerous achievements and milestones of the APC-led administration in Nigeria. It is therefore our observation that a lot still needs to be done in the area of public awareness and citizens' orientation.
The planned public project evaluation exercise is expected to feature both local and international media houses. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi, NTA News.
The need for amendment of the Electoral Act to compel political parties to provide level playing field for aspirants has been stressed. Guest on Good Morning Nigeria stated this while reviewing political parties' primaries. Lydia Sampson has the report.
The political party primaries have come and gone, with candidates emerging for various elective positions. Guest on Good Morning Nigeria, while reviewing the process, highlighted lessons learned by key players in the electoral process. They opined that while the process was chaotic and characterized with intermittent change of time and venue in some states, most political parties met the deadline of concluding primaries on the 8th of October.
Only the recognized chairman and the secretary of the party can make a submission of list. That means that before that can happen, a certain degree of agreement would have been reached.
The guest, who described internal party politics as the main driver of democracy, therefore says Nigerians must own the process and make it more transparent.
In many states, the officials that were sent to conduct the primaries either decided to go there very late, sometimes as late as 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. And then units, wards, and polling centers were deliberately starved of the necessary electoral materials, particularly where direct primaries were done.
It was a bit haphazard. So today someone is disqualified, the next day the person is back in the process. So it's something that we can do better than we have done.
As INEC awaits the submission of candidates' lists from party chairmen and secretaries, the guest said substitutions can be made where candidates voluntarily withdraw or in case of death. They, however, acknowledge the potency of political awareness in the country. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
And now moving to the National Assembly, the Senate is set to reconvene after more than 3 months of its annual recess. The legislators are expected to give accelerated consideration to the executive communications pending in the Senate. National Assembly correspondent Ignacio Sunkwo reports.
4th of July 2018, the Senate embarked on its annual recess to reconvene on the 25th of September 2018. But on the 23rd of September, the clerk to the National Assembly announced the postponement of the resumption to 9th of October to enable members to round off their party primaries. Some vital issues were unattended to as a result of the adjournment, such as the 2018 supplementary budget to fund the 2018 general elections, requests for the approval of some key appointments for the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC,
Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, and that of the Deputy Governor of Central Bank of Nigeria were also among the executive requests pending in the Senate. The strategic importance of some of these executive requests raised concerns from Nigerians who called on the National Assembly to cut short their recess and consider them. As a result, the National Assembly Joint Committee on INEC commenced to work on the INEC budget during the recess.
Issues that are very important to Nigerians because of the electioneering period. On INEC, committees on INEC in both the House of Representatives and the Senate, they have met and they have deliberated. They have done work extensively on the issues relating to the INEC budget, that is 2019. Then also the Electoral Act. Those issues will actually be presented to the floor of the Senate.
As the legislators are set to reconvene, the Senate leader, Ahmed Lawan, observed that the senators, in spite of political party affiliation, are expected to be dispassionate in considering these issues of national importance, as any attempts to undermine the policies of the federal government will not be tolerated.
I'm looking forward to the National Assembly, particularly the Senate, working very hard, burning midnight candles to ensure that we deliver those things that we should have had done before we left for the recess, and I hope that we won't have any cause to fight in the National Assembly.
Unfortunately, the National Assembly will not carry out any legislative function on its first day of resumption in honor of one of its members in the House of Representatives, Funke Adedoyin from Kwara State, who died during the recess.
Because of that, in line with the Parliamentary Convention, we are going to sit and adjourn immediately.
However, a major contending issue of resumption of the National Assembly is a change in party affiliation as it affects the leadership of the Assembly. Both leadership are now in the minority party. Therefore, decisions and resolutions are issues that is being put under close examination. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
It's still nationwide on NTA, and I hear it smiles all around. Let's now join Dotun to bring us up to speed from Lagos. Hello, Dotun.
Thank you, Ihere, for joining us in Lagos. Towards encouraging people to put smiles on the faces of their fellow men through acts of kindness, the United Nations intended when it set aside a day as World Smile Day. Emel Dori went to town to find out how often Lagosians wear a smile, and our report is presented from our studios.
A smile is a facial expression that conveys a feeling of happiness. Smiling, according to research, releases endorphin, the hormone that lifts a person's mood and reduces tension, which could impact on the well-being. The World Smile Day is marked on the first Friday of the month of October every year. The idea was initiated in 1963 by an American commercial artist, Harvey Ball, with a popular smiley graphic picture, which became an enduring and notable international icon. The artist was also concerned about the real meaning behind the picture, which was lost on the general public. This, however, inspired the World Smiley Day, which was officially celebrated in 1999. Harvey believed that the smiley face had no political, religious, or geographic limitations.
It's a product of kindness itself.
It's a necessity because it keeps you going. You know, no matter what, you just have to keep smiling.
Today, millions of people around the world are encouraged to participate by wearing a smile on their faces.
Smile brightens a day. We should learn to smile more often because you don't know who your smile is going to infect. Your smile can just make someone's day.
Just saying something that lifts my spirits high, so it makes me smile. It reduces stress, so I try to make it as honest as possible.
And once you are happy, according to scientists, too, not me, you secrete what they call happiness hormone, dopamine. And once you secrete that hormone, it goes around your body and alter your mood. You begin to feel happy, smile. Of course, your blood pressure will come down and you'll live long.
Do an act of kindness. Smiling is a universal sign of happiness. Why not wear a smile right now? People are bound to smile back at it. It is infectious.
The success of an individual achievement is a notable feat, but The worth of an individual's character to excel in life is tested in his ability to work with others in team spirit. This was the charge by Oladimeji Alo in an address to the students of Doen College, Lagos, at the school's 21st Founders' Day. Nenrot Nina Musa was there and now reports.
A Thanksgiving service heralded the celebration of the 21st Founders' Day, with the students singing praises to God for the milestone achieved. They prayed and took scriptural reading from the Holy Bible. Dean of the Cathedral Diocese of Lagos West, Anglican Communion, in his exhortation from the book of Daniel, admonished the students to be mindful of the type of company they keep, as it could determine if they can succeed or fail in life.
Talking about students, talking about staff, talking about parents, talking about members of the BOG, talking about the management team. All of us, we are all stakeholders in the running of this school, and we are all very important. We all have work to do, and we must do it collectively with what I call the principle of collective responsibility.
Principal of the college, Adebisi Layuwola, gave highlights of the academic session of 2017-2018, in which the school excelled.
We thank God for what God has helped us to achieve. Some of them even have scholarships within and outside the country, and for this we are very grateful.
Chairman of Burger Paints, Dr. Oladimeji Alo, who was guest speaker, stressed the importance of teamwork.
One of the ways in which you can be an effective member of a team is to be ready to provide assistance to others when it is needed.
The high point of the event was the presentation of awards to outstanding students and teachers.
No one can do it alone. We have to be there for one another. And I think that's the essential part of being a team player.
Worthy of note was the immediate past head boy of the college, Omolamai Emake, whose outstanding performance earned him global scholarship from Drexel University, USA, for a 4-year program. Incidentally, he was not present at the ceremony. In Lagos, Nerut Nina Musa, NTA News.
The management and staff of NTA Lagos Network Center can have an opportunity to develop their capacity if the partnership with the School of Media and Communications, Pan-Atlantic University, comes through. This was revealed by the Director, Professional Education, School of Media and Communication, Pan-Atlantic University, Isaac Ezechukwu, during a courtesy visit to the management of NTA Lagos Network Center. Imoliayo Tokede has details.
Capacity building is key if efficiency and professionalism is to be achieved by an organization and its employees. It is in the light of this that the Lagos Network Center is seeking to establish a relationship that will translate into training programs that will be mutually beneficial.
The collaboration is expected to yield results. We will be able to assist NTA with manpower training, manpower development, which is our strength, and NTA on its part will be able to assist the School of Media and Communication with publicity, which is your strength.
The Zonal Director, NTA Lagos Network Center, Pius Oje, who welcomed the partnership with open arms, stated that its reach should be extended nationally to the NTA.
My management will prefer a situation where you deal with NTA, not just Lagos Network Center. That will give you a bigger exposure.
The Deputy Director News, NTA Lagos Network Center, Wilfred Owalefo, suggested the institution should involve other schools in the university. The School of Media and Communication, instituted by Pan-Atlantic University, has a mandate to train professionals who will uphold the highest intellectual, ethical, and professional values. In Lagos, Umolayo Tokide, NTA News.
That's all from Lagos Network Center. We now hand over the baton to Shadia in our Sokoto Network Center. Good evening.
Welcome to Sokoto. The federal government has intensified efforts to ensure motorable roads in the northwest to boost socio-economic activities of the people. Abdurrahman Usman Jibrila has more.
The major federal roads that links Sokoto, Kebbi, Zamfara and Niger State were abandoned for many years until between 2011 and 2013, when the past administration awarded the contract for the total construction and rehabilitation of some affected roads. In August 2016, the present administration re-awarded the contract of the over 300 kilometers Sokoto, Jega, Kwantagora road and mobilized the contractor back to site. So far, the 126 kilometers Sokoto Jega road has been completed, while work on the portion of Jega Yauri Kwantagora has now resumed in earnest.
Work is going on at the Keri Bridge, and there is work now at the Jega Birni Yauri road, which is a remarkable achievement.
Because as you can see now, as Nigeria now, there is no work. So if you can get anyone to do it, at least you should cherish it. You hold it very well.
We are very happy with the rehabilitation.
Before the rehabilitation, I can take 1 hour before I come here, before I come to Jega.
With the resumption of work, the project is expected to be completed before the end of the year. Similarly, the 50-kilometer Aiki-Takwas Gumi Sokoto border road, 68-kilometer Auranamoda Jibia road already completed and commissioned. The current road projects within Sokoto, Kebbi and Zamfara state axis, if completed, will facilitate not only interstate transportation but strengthen economic activities between Nigeria, Niger Republic, Benin and other neighboring countries. In Sokoto, Abraham Usman Jibrila, NTA News.
The government says it is determined to boost rice production as part of efforts to consolidate federal government's diversification agenda of the economy. Osman Abdullahi Shehu reports on the policies put in place by the state governments to achieve the set objectives.
Kebbi State produces over 2 million metric tons of paddy rice per annum through dry and rainy season production. The state, with good marshy land and rivers that traverse almost all the 21 local government areas of the state, provide fertile land for rice production. The current administration of President Muhammadu Buhari consolidated effort of the past administrations when it introduced the Anko Borowa program, which empower farmers to produce not only rice but other food and cash crops. Seeing the success of the federal government initiative in rice production, Kebbi State government went into partnership with Lagos State government to find ready market for farmers in the state. The State Commissioner of Agriculture, Barrister Tahiru Machido, said the initiative has succeeded.
In Nigeria today, everybody is talking about locally produced rice. It has succeeded in almost eliminating the importation of rice into the country.
The commissioner further said the state has also signed a memorandum of understanding with millers in and outside the state to consolidate the success of Lake Rice Agreement with Lagos State, and other memorandum of understanding will soon be signed with other international agencies. In Birnin Kebbi, Usman Abdullahi Shehu, NTA News.
It's time to take another break. Nationwide continues shortly.
Glad to have you back. The central message of Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, on the occasion of the 2018 World Day for Decent Work is enforcement of labour laws across Nigeria. Omenka Amarachuka reports that it was marked with a rally in Abuja.
Joshua has been working for 11 years and has been marking the Workers' Day, but has no idea what Decent Work Day means.
World Day for Decent Work. I have not heard about it before. This is my first time.
Joshua is not left alone. Many workers don't know what decent work means. Perhaps that made International Trade Union to choose 7th of every October to enlighten the world on decent work and labor rights. More than 780 million people are estimated across the world to be receiving less than what can take care of their basic needs. The Nigerian Labour Congress is therefore using the 2018 edition of Decent Work Day to promote the theme, change the rule to support decent work.
If a worker works 24 hours per day without his consent, without shift allowance, is akin to slavery.
Already, Nigerian government and the labour movement are in talk, not only review the national minimum wage, but also improve welfare of Nigerian workers. In Abuja, Omenka Marachuku, NTA News.
And now talking health, the plight of children living with cerebral palsy was brought to limelight as the world marks Cerebral Palsy Day 2018. Garba Muhammad Nata'ala reports that an advocacy walk to drum more support for such children was part of the events marking the day in Abuja.
Sid Obama and Miracle are children living with cerebral palsy. They joined 50 other people in a 2-kilometer walk from Apo to Gudu area of Abuja. Cerebral palsy is one of the most commonest form of childhood disability. It is a neurological condition that impairs muscle movement and makes it difficult for sufferers to move their certain part of their bodies. Sid and Miracle are among many Nigerian children living with the condition since childhood.
Depends on the severity. Some cases are so severe that they can't just fit into a regular school, so they have to go to special schools for a time until they are stabilized and then move on to inclusive education.
Available statistics indicate that about 700,000 children are living with cerebral palsy in Nigeria.
So they need all kinds of therapy. Sometimes you need about 7-8 kinds of therapy package for one child.
Besides the challenges of stigmatization that patients have to contend with, conveners of this awareness work are also concerned about the fate of caregivers.
Psychologically, they are being traumatized. A lot of things are happening to them, right? And they are not able to cope with their daily stresses anymore.
As Nigeria joins in commemorating World Cerebral Palsy Day, a not-for-profit organization known as the Engraced Ones are undertaking this advocacy work to sensitize the public on these needs. This, they hope, will spark greater government's recognition and attention children like Seed and Miracle, as well as their caregivers. In Abuja, Garba Muhammad Nata'ala, NTA News.
Many thanks, Garba. Moving on, politicians in the country have been cautioned against engaging in politics of bitterness, desperation and violence before, during and after the 2019 general elections. This formed the thrust of speeches by religious leaders during the opening ceremony of the 22nd National Annual Quranic Recitation Competition holding in Minna, Niger State. Dauda Mohammed reports. In our subsequent bulletin. And it's now time to get the latest from our Port Harcourt zone, and Ogechi Paul is standing by. Hello, Ogechi.
Lenre for joining Port Harcourt. We want to start with politics. As a former commissioner in River State, Ezemoye Ezekiel Amadi has been declared winner in the Kwele Federal Constituency primary elections of the All Progressives Congress, APC. Held in Isyobo, River State. Onengie Fanfis reports.
423 delegates from the 13 wards of Ikwere and 14 wards of Emohua local government areas took part in the delegate elections of the APC in Isyobo. Ezemoye Ezekiel Amadi polled 394 votes to get an overwhelming victory over his opponent, Chidi Wiyoka, who was absent at the election. Ezekiel Amadi was subsequently declared winner by the returning officer, Ndidi Erim, in the presence of INEC monitors.
I hereby declare Ezemoye Ezekiel Amadi having the winner and is now elected to represent the group of Emohua.
The APC Ikwere Emohua Federal Constituency candidate promised to commence immediate mobilization towards electoral victory in 2019.
When we get victorious next year, our legislative attention in the National Assembly shall be focused on infant mortality, care for the elderly, and youth development. I will pursue these areas very vigorously so that we will change the narrative of our great party in this federal constituency.
In Isyopo, River State, Onengie Fanfis, NTA News.
In the meantime, members of the All Progressives Congress in Rivers Southeast and Southwest senatorial districts took to the streets over alleged injustice occasioned by the decision of the APC National Working Committee to adopt Taya Cole as Rivers APC governorship candidate in the 2019 general elections. Correspondent Osinachi Silvanus Abraham monitored the peaceful protest.
They are members of the All Progressives Congress, APC, in Rivers State. The Solidarity Rally is to reject the decision of the APC National Working Committee, which adopted architect Tonyeku as the governorship candidate through indirect primaries.
In Rivers State, we have chosen a direct primary. Yes, and that direct primary was done, and it was very successful. Magnus Abe has contributed so much to the growth of this party.
They are calling on President Muhammadu Buhari and the National Working Committee to consider the fact that intent and nomination forms were brought. The people came out en masse to participate in the direct primaries, and winners emerged.
After NEC had resolved, the working committee reversed that decision for Rivers State. Injury to one is injury to all.
In Port Harcourt, Osinachi Silvanus Abraham, NTA News.
Away from politics, the Nigerian Navy says it remains committed to tackling illegal operations of maritime academics and other paid military institutions to ensure sanity in the system. Commander NNS Jubilee Kodabasi, Akwa Ibom State, Commodore Yorinde Akinwole made this known when officers of the command raided an illegal maritime institution in the state. Kelvin Samuel has details.
Institution known as Merchant Seaman Academy, located in a Sienudem local government area of Akwa Ibom State, was said to have been shut down about 6 years ago, but suddenly reopened without proper approval and adequate facilities to run an academy of such magnitude. Speaking on behalf of the commander NNS Jubilee, the executive officer, Captain Suleiman Ibrahim, says his men, acting on a tip-off, raided the alleged legal institution and discovered that it has not met the requirement for operation as a maritime academy.
The message we're sending out there is for all of those people that are running this kind of illegal institutions. We are going to find you, no matter how far you go. We'll find you and we'll ensure that these institutions are closed down.
According to some of the students, they received direct admission from JAM through text messages, but stated that they never applied for it as their choice of institution.
I got admission paper. So the same message that I've been offered admission to.
Where the school is accredited, we didn't know, but they told us that the school is well accredited.
While the proprietor denied operating the institution as a maritime academy, a total of 19 students, 3 lecturers, and the proprietor were arrested and subsequently handed over to the police for further investigations. In Uyo, Kevin Samuel, NTA News.
Well, there's our package from here. Is back to Lanre in Abuja for more nationwide.
Many thanks, Ogechi. It's now time to join Maiduguri with Naomi as our guide.
Yeah, and welcome to Maiduguri. Buhari Oshibanjo Continuity Network says there is need for the present administration to continue to lead the country, going by the administration's lofty ideas that led to development in various sectors of the nation's economy. The group made this known during its meeting in Maiduguri, Borno State. Amina Fidi Amadou reports.
The meeting highlighted achievements recorded so far by the Buhari administration. Vice Chairman of the group, Bashir Tilbari, said though they are not in Abuja for the convention, the chairman is in Abuja to show support toward President Buhari's tremendous achievements.
We thought it imperative to gather ourselves and identify with the lofty ideas and goals of our president. And that is why we organized this function today.
University lecturer Zana Musa Liman and Dr. Umar Ogoni of Vocational and Technical Education of the same institution dwelt on the topic, virtues of President Muhammadu Buhari, the reasons for re-election, by highlighting the numerous achievements recorded by the Buhari administration in the area of security, infrastructure, fight against corruption, and diversification of the economy, among others.
Looking at how the president came and met the ministry administration of the past administration that we came and get on ground, how he provided the transformation of the agricultural sector, the security architecture, how he found a diversification in the fields of small-scale and industrial development and labor.
How can we as Nigerians struggle to amend the Nigerian Constitution for President Muhammadu Buhari continuity by the year 2023 and beyond?
Women leader of the group, Lami Mohammed, also urged the women folk to support the administration. Other speakers gave the assurance of embarking on door-to-door mobilization to ensure victory for President Muhammadu Buhari. In Maiduguri, Amina Fidia Hamadou, NTA News.
Group of non-governmental organizations have donated assorted food and non-food items to Fatima Ali Sharif Orphanage in Maiduguri, Borno State. Jedwa John Jesseny reports.
The charity visit by the non-governmental organizations to the Fatima Ali Sharif Orphanage in Maiduguri was to give the children a sense of belonging, having lost their loved ones and parents in the insurgency.
We're looking at how we can counter violent extremism in the northeast. That's just the major idea. How we can counter violent extremism in the northeastern part of Nigeria. That's why we're starting from the kids. They are the young ones. They are the future. They are the generation. So let's give them that life they deserve. Basically, that's just the idea.
He disclosed that the NGOs will soon embark on an educational project in an effort to educate 5 children from primary to higher institutions, owing to the fact that education is the key to success and the basis for societal development. Director of one of the NGOs, Suleiman Kakasande, described the project as a visionary journey which seeks to educate the populace on the need to show love, care and concern to the orphans and less privileged. Assistant Social Welfare Officer Fatima Ali Sharif Orphanage Home, Mohammed Mustafa, lauded the NGOs for the gesture, which he said will go a long way in putting a smile on the faces of the children. Other speakers at the event described it as a welcome development and called on all and sundry to emulate the NGOs in making the society a better place for the orphans. In Maiduguri, Jadwa John Jesni, NTA News.
That wraps up our contribution from Maiduguri. Nationwide continues after this timeout.
Good to have you back. Developing a coordinated approach for reintegration of returnee migrants and internally displaced persons, IDPs, in Nigeria was one of the vibrant suggestions at a high-level roundtable on migration recently on the sidelines of the United Nations General Assembly in New York. In this special report, Joy Osiago takes a look at the relevance of building bilateral relations and co-creating solutions with those involved in the process of migration.
Abimbola Olufore is a highly skilled Nigerian-Canadian migrant who is interested in coming back to Nigeria with a whole lot of skills for Nigerians and internally displaced persons in particular. She participated at a high-level roundtable on corruption, migration, and bridging Africa's infrastructure gap that generated dialogue around the theme.
First and foremost, what skill do you bring on board? And if there is nothing, we then probably look at what is the need, in terms of the growth areas within the economy. When you co-create solutions with people, they feel, like they are a part of it. Then there is, like the buy-in from everybody.
The analysis by the panelists on migration identified decent means of people exchange for mutual benefits, despite the push and pull factors of migration.
We must export our labor, so we need to negotiate in terms of migration with the developed economies, so that the vacancies you have, they don't need to die in the sea, they don't need to die in the desert. Let these vacancies be given through negotiation.
As well as the corruption, people will continue to go overseas in search of greener pasture, so everything is tied together.
As noted by those in charge of migratory.
It's now time to talk sports as Nationwide League One Division 2 gets 8 new teams as Nigeria Cricket Federation repositions for 2019. Kene Emagwadike brings us more on Sports Update.
8 football teams have been promoted to the National League Division after promotion and relegation playoffs were decided in 7 centers over the weekend. Tamara Ebiwe, who was at the Abuja Center, reports that Okazo United are among teams promoted alongside Wagada FC, KK United and Super Pillars, while the relegated teams include Ambassadors FC, Golden Arrows FC, as well as Kano 11 FC.
The competition is always very tense because all the players want to move up to the professional cadre.
The Nigeria Cricket Federation plans to embark on more competitions and developmental programs in 2019, having successfully hosted the International Cricket Council Qualifiers A and African Cricket T20 qualifiers this year. The federation, which held its last meeting for the year weekend in Abuja, also confirmed the employment of former national player Emeka Iguilo as its new general manager.
It has been a very eventful year so far for us, and look at challenges that still exist that we need to look at before the end of the year.
The maiden edition of the Abuja Barracks Female Youth Sports Championship ended over the weekend in Abuja after 6 teams competed in volleyball, basketball and badminton across 4 days. Defense Spikers in red jersey defeated Scorpion Spikers by 3-2 to emerge champions of the volleyball event. Hilltop team won the basketball event, while Yonex won in badminton.
Don't forget the useful lessons that have been learned in terms of team spirit, skills upgrade, and determination.
Organizers plan to include more sporting events in next year's edition. With Sports Update, Kenan Ima Abodike, NTA News.
Many thanks, Kene, for that update. And on a sad note, the Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, has expressed grief over the death of Mr. Moses Olaiya, popularly known as Baba Sala. In a statement issued in Abuja this Monday, the minister described Baba Sala as a trailblazer who, along with his contemporaries, laid a foundation for theatre and comedy, which have now taken Nigeria's creative industry by storm. Alhaji Lai Mohammed condoles with the family and prays for the repose of the late foremost comedian. Condolence messages are already pouring in for the family of late veteran actor Moses Olaiya Adejumo, popularly called Baba Sala, following his death on Sunday night. Correspondent Olabode Arewa captures the mood in the Idasa Ijesha family home of the iconic comedian.
The news of the popular filmmaker and comedian Moses Olaiya Adejumo was confirmed this Monday morning. Although the prolific filmmaker and dramatist has been rumored to have died on several occasions, his passing on was confirmed by his son, Emmanuel Adejumo, and media spokesperson. Baba Sala, as he was popularly known as, was said to have been battling with his health until Sunday, the 7th of October 2018, when he eventually bowed out. Baba Sala began his career in show business as a highlight musician in 1964. He led a group known as Federal Rhythm Dandies, where he tutored the popular juju music maestro King Sunny Ade, who was his lead guitarist. He will be greatly missed by his family and fans.
May his soul rest in perfect peace. Now, time to take a quick look at the weather picture across the country. And that's our package on NTA Nationwide today. Many thanks for investing your time with us.